You walk into a convenience store because you're just grabbing one thing. Maybe it's gas. Maybe it's a drink. Maybe it's a snack because you didn't eat and now you're starving. 5 minutes later, you walk out $14 poorer, and you honestly couldn't tell someone exactly where the $14 went. And that right there, that's the problem. Because if you do that 3 times a week, that's not bad luck. That's not inflation. That's not times are tough. That's a system working exactly as designed. Here's the thing. Convenience stores aren't just places you stop at. They're one of the most efficient wealth extraction machines ever built. And today, we're going to talk about how convenience stores quietly became a billion-dollar tax on the poor, why it's not really about self-control, and how this tiny habit might be sabotaging your finances more than rent, debt, or even your income. My name is Nick, and I spend way too much time thinking about how everyday systems quietly drain people's money without them noticing. If you're someone who feels like you're working hard, doing mostly the right things, but still somehow never getting ahead, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, because this one might make you uncomfortable in a good way. Now look, I want to be very clear up front. This is not a poor people are bad with money video. That's lazy, it's wrong, and it completely misses what's actually happening. This is about environmental finance, how the places you're forced to interact with every day slowly reshape your spending behavior. Because here's what most people don't realize. Convenience stores don't sell products, they sell decisions under pressure. Think about the last time you went into one. You weren't relaxed, you weren't price comparing, you weren't thinking long term. You were tired, hungry, late, low on energy, low on willpower, and that's not accidental. According to data from the National Association of Convenience Stores, the average customer spends less than 4 minutes inside a store. 4 minutes. That's not enough time to think. That's barely enough time to react, which is perfect because reaction spending is the most expensive kind of spending. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The average convenience store item costs 30% to 300% more than the same item at a grocery store. A bottle of water that costs 50 cents in bulk, $2.49 at the counter. A candy bar that costs 89 cents at Walmart, $2.19 near the register. A 1.25 soda at a grocery store, $3.50 cold and glowing behind glass. And before you say, yeah, but it's only a few dollars, let's do the math, because math is where feelings go to die. Let's say you stop at a convenience store just 3 times a week. You spend $8 each time. That's $24 a week, $96 a month, $1,152 a year. Now multiply that by 20 years. That's $23,000. And that's assuming you never increase your spending, which you will. Because here's what most people don't realize. Convenience stores don't just take your money, they train your brain. Psychologists call this decision fatigue. After a long day, your brain wants fast calories, fast dopamine, and zero friction. Convenience stores are optimized for that exact mental state. Bright lighting, simple packaging, argue try, nothing sticks. Convenience stores didn't invent this problem, but they perfected it. And once you see how the game works, you get to decide how much you want to keep playing. You don't need to change everything. You just need to stop bleeding quietly. Because money you don't notice losing is the hardest money to ever get back. And that's the real cost of convenience.